Our final inductee may be the most prolific offensive player in Chapman soccer history. Apologies to the others that are at or near the top of the all-time scoring list, but this guy did the majority of his damage in just his junior and senior years after a position change. In those 2 years, he was virtually automatic, scoring 84 points in a 40-game span, not to mention his leadership and work in the classroom. Please watch this tribute to Scott Martino, soccer student athlete from the class of 2001.
A loyal leader.
Probably one of the hardest working players I've ever had.
Super composed, unflappable, confident, and just ready to take the next step.
He actually played defense for 2 years for us, at center back for 2 years, and didn't move up to the forward position until his last 2 years. So just a guy that was team first, great attitude, great character, high academic.
So what made Scott so successful as a soccer player was his intensity, his leadership, and his versatility. I mean, he was willing to kind of play all over the field. He played at defense, he played at midfield, he played up top. Obviously, his last year when he scored all his points.
On the pitch, he was just someone you can count on. Confident player, he was quiet. I had the opportunity to play 2 seasons with Scott, and sophomore year became our captain. And you can just see the confidence in him, the confidence he gave us on the pitch. He was always going to show up. He was going to be ready.
I think the biggest thing I remember is the battle that him and Aaron Poling had when Aaron was a senior and he was a junior, and they were battling for points and goals. And I think that competition between them two, friendly but teammates, and like they're like brothers, right? So that competition they had with each other is probably the one of the best memories I had.
He scored a lot of goals, right? But there's one in particular that I remember he scored. He was probably 20, 22 yards out. Ball went way up in the air. He just hit it first time, volley, right into the net, and everybody went crazy. That was probably one of the best goals I've seen scored on a field.
You know, Scott was always a great leader, and I think it shows both academically. I mean, he excelled on the pitch. He excelled in life. I mean, he's great. You know, he's doing so well with First American and Endpoint. Incredible career, and just also incredible dad.
I knew that he was going to be successful outside of soccer, which he is right now as well in his career. I think it's just his attitude, his work. You know, he just didn't make excuses and just showed up to work every single day and put in the time in the off season.
Tino, congratulations, brother. What an honor to have you represent SCR and this incredible program at Chapman University. It was an honor and a privilege to play with you on the pitch, and it's an honor to be your good friend.
Hey, Scott, congratulations. You deserve it. Proud of everything you've accomplished, and good luck the rest of the way.
Scotty, it was a pleasure to play alongside you. No one deserves this award more than you. Congrats, buddy.
Scotty, I'm telling you, when Coach Creo moves you from that defensive position in the middle of your career to that offensive leading scorer position, the ability to pivot and do that, I mean, I know that's your pedigree. The success that you have is just truly remarkable, and then obviously academic, all district, just phenomenal. Before I ask him to come up, I just want to deviate partly, but I'm going to pull it right back to Scott. For the Hall of Fame Selection Committee, something we do, we look at what were their accomplishments on the field, the court, the water. We look at what they do in the classroom academically, what do they contribute to the community of Chapman, and then what do they do today, right? And what are they doing? And I think you know that Scott Martino has been part of First American. And Parker Kennedy's here tonight. And Parker, I do want to give you a shout out. I want to say thank you very much for your support for the entire university, specifically the athletic department. What you do is amazing. Obviously, your CFO sitting right there for many years. You can tell where some of his greatness started in this program, what he accomplished. So, all right, let's do this. Let's get the Martino family. Let's get the Parker Kennedy family. Let's get SCR in the house and the entire Chapman community tonight to join me in welcoming the newest member into the Chapman University Athletic Hall of Fame, Scott Martino. Let's go.
I'll take this home for you. So, before I begin, I have been fortunate enough to work for First American for 22 years. But after they seen that picture, I think I need a new job. Well, that's another story. Well, first off, what a wonderful evening. It's super humbling to be up here right now. First, I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for this incredible honor and congratulate all the other inductees. It's inspiring to be recognized alongside such talented and dedicated athletes who have each left their mark on this university. And to all the friends, families, students, and alumni in attendance, thank you. Your support is what makes this celebration so meaningful for all of us. So I started playing soccer, when I was 4 years old, and in our household, that's the only sport we were allowed to play. I actually tried to play baseball, but my older brothers wouldn't let me. And I had two older brothers. We were within 4 years to each other. And this was the 80s, because I'm old. So no cell phones, no video games. So we're typical, out in the streets until the street lights come on. And typically that was playing soccer. And we're playing street ball, and that's where I learned the game. And I was a little brother, and I was doing everything I could to win, right? Big brothers, older brothers, they don't let you win. They never took it easy on me. I got beat up, pushed around, had some hospital trips as souvenirs. But those battles taught me resilience, grit, and how to keep working no matter what. My brothers taught me to compete, to fight for every inch, and always find a way to win. And I thank my brothers for instilling that in me. And to my parents, thank you. You coached me, drove me to every game in practice, and showed me what commitment and sacrifice looks like. So growing up, my teams, I was always on winning teams, and typically I led the team in scoring. And then came my junior year in high school. It was my first losing season ever. And what's worse is I lost my passion for the game. Going into my senior year, a few things happened. Arguably, the most important was I got a new high school coach, and his name was Eddie Carrillo. So my senior year, I had a great season. I got back to scoring goals, but what's most important is Eddie helped me find my passion for the game. And in the spring of my senior year, I was trying to figure out, I hadn't made a decision on college yet. And I learned that Eddie was going to become the head coach at Chapman. And so I immediately committed. Now, I grew up in South Orange County, and I knew nothing about Chapman. I didn't research the school, the academics, and probably the most important, the cost. It didn't matter. I just wanted to continue to play for Coach Carrillo. So when I arrived at Chapman, I was determined to be great, and I would do whatever it takes to get there. And Coach was there to help. He spent countless hours with me, one-on-one, working on my footwork, my skill work, and my finishing. He pushed me to master the details, do the unseen work, and never settle. His standard for excellence has shaped how I approach everything in life. And with that, thank you, Coach. Now, I love playing soccer at Chapman, and there are a number of accomplishments that I'm very proud of. First is I was a 4-year starter, except the one game in the playoffs in the snow in Colorado, and Coach, I am still pissed off about that. But when he put me in, of course I scored. Another accomplishment is I was a versatile player, and I played kind of wherever I was needed. Coach has been here 30 years, so I'll forgive him for his age. Actually played center mid my freshman year, center back my sophomore year, and then the final 2 years were up top. And that junior year of setting the points record, 17 goals, 16 assists, and 50 points was just freaking awesome. But the most important accomplishment was we were the only Chapman team, men's soccer team, that made the NCAA tournament 3 years in a row, a record that still stands. And that success came from the incredible teammates that I've had over the years, some of whom are here tonight. We had such talented teams, and it was an amazing experience. But what made us great wasn't the talent. It was the bond we built off the field. Being part of SCR is something special. And there are so many memories, most of which I can't talk about because my teenage kids are here. But those incredible friendships we built off the field made us great on it. And to my teammates, thank you. But there is one teammate that deserves a special call out, Aaron Poling. I remember my first game as a freshman. We were out in Utah, we were playing Westminster. To me, they looked like giants. I got knocked down pretty early in the game, and I looked back, and the guy who took me out was taken out. And Aaron was there, and probably got a yellow card for that foul. But he has been my best friend ever since. We pushed each other constantly, spending countless hours on the field practicing and competing, and just as many hours off the field getting into mostly harmless trouble. That connection showed every time we played. We always knew where the other one would be, and by our final season together at Chapman, his senior year, my junior year, we were dominant, combining for over 30 goals, 20 assists, and in an 11-game unbeaten streak. I would not be standing here tonight if it wasn't for Aaron. Finally, I want to thank Chapman University. This place gave me more than soccer. It gave me an education that prepared me for my career, lifelong friendships, and most importantly, it's where I met my wife, Tiffany. Tiffany also played soccer. She was a few years younger than me. And during college, we probably said less than 10 words to each other. She likes to say we have never married if we dated in college. I don't really understand what she meant. But we did have a moment, the Margaritaville party where we danced. And despite what her journal says, I knew it was a spark. A few years later, we ran into each other at Malarkey's, and the rest is history. Chapman isn't just where I played soccer, it's where I became who I am. It's a community that challenges you, supports you, and stays with you long after you leave the field. To my wife, Tiffany, my kids, teammates, coaches, and Chapman University, thank you. I'm proud to have worn Panther colors and even prouder to be part of this Hall of Fame tradition.